Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 2, episode 79. So, now that we have completed both North City and West City, we are now going to head down to our third city in the game, which is South City. And well, before I do that, obviously, I'm going to sell 3 of these cars just to give myself enough storage. Actually, no. Correction. I'm only going to sell 2 of these cars because effectively I already have enough money, enough space to do my next event. And obviously, gonna have to sell the Alpha, unfortunately, because I need the storage space. And well, I think that should be enough, because there are 96 cars in my garage, and well, I have one of the cars I'm going to use anyway, so I'm just going to head up here, and this is the car I'm going to use. My Chevrolet Corvette 427 Stingray. For our first event in South City. So, heading down now to South City. And officially heading over to Chevrolet, because part of them might be in South City, even though there are 6 manufacturers in America in this that are American in this game. Essentially overall there's only really 5 events we have to do, and I am using this car for one of those events. And so I'm going to put on the computer chip and also put on the port grinding, you know, just for my usual tuning tactics on the engine. And of course, well, as for the NA tune, well, I won't be doing that until after I have installed the racing mod, but just gonna check and see if I've got a fully customizable transmission. Yes, I do, because I may need that if I'm going to be racing at test course. Because if there's one thing I will probably have an issue with in this thing, it will probably be speed. And well, I've pretty much done all I think I need to do for the first event, because we are officially doing our first and only event at Chevrolet, which is the Corvette meeting. Memorial race for all Corvettes. No license required. And well, the main reason why I chose this car is essentially because, well, I was wanting to be traditional, and also because essentially I was wanting to be classical. And oh, okay. We're actually going to Red Rock Valley for the first time in the one makes, so that's pretty cool. I might actually have to save a replay of this thing if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, let's do it. Let's head to our first race at Red Rock Valley, and just because I'm forgetful, I just had to check and see if I was in analog mode, and fortunately for me at least, I am in analog mode. So let's head to our first race, into where I am predicting I will probably not need the transmission, and wow, this is even better. I'm actually going to Red Rock Valley reverse. That is even better. We're actually going to Red Rock Valley reverse for our first event. That is even better. Because this is actually the first time I've raced at Red Rock Valley reverse in this game, and surprisingly for me at least, I do think that's actually a good experience for me to have. I mean, I've driven on the forward course a couple of times, but I've never actually physically driven on the reverse course. And well, hopefully, since I have everything sorted out this time, hopefully I may be able to make this attempt at recording successful. Since I now know everything that's probably going to happen in this race. And well, at the moment, everything is going surprisingly well. Because I would have honestly thought for sure that straight line speed was going to be my deficit compared to these AI. Considering obviously this thing is only a 4 speed, and quite surprisingly here at Red Rock that's actually not proving to be the case. And I'm assuming the main reason for that is simply because I have the acceleration to stay in front. And trying to check my mic to see if it's not on mute, because I'm hoping my microphone is not on mute, and if it is, then well, I will be pissed. But hopefully it is not. No, these AI are keeping up with me relatively well, even if it looks like at one point I was extending. But somehow right now I'm actually not. And oh crap, that is the gravel. But somehow I still hold on to the lead, regardless of me running wide, as we're now heading into the final bankings of this course, since essentially this is basically a combination of both a road course and a speedway course, methinks. And as we head across the line, it is going to be victory in race 1. As I win that race by 9/10. And yes, my microphone is on. So I won by less than a second in the end of that race. And also furthermore, we had 2 other 69 Corvette Stingrays in this event as well. So I won by 9/10 over the Chevy Corvette Coupe from 96. Then it was the ZR1 in 3rd, followed by the 2 427 Stingrays in 4th and 5th, and then in last it was the 67 Corvette Stingray. It was a quite marginal 5 seconds behind the rest of us. That's literally how much of a deficit that car must have had in terms of straight line speed. But anyways, that's race 1. And I think just because I want to, I probably will save this replay. Because I really do love this thing. And essentially, just because I dare to be different, I'm actually going to save this replay. Just because I want to. Also because essentially, I would imagine the racing mods are not going to be as fucking innovative as the road models are, essentially. But yeah. So, race 1 is done, now we can head to race 2. But before we do that, obviously we shall need to do the usual shit. So, heading over to others, weight reduction. Because obviously this is how we do. And now I'm going to put on the racing mod. And obviously, as you can see here, this mod not quite as good as the road car mod in my honest opinion. Also furthermore, this car is only available in 2 colours as well. I think just because this car stands out a bit more in normal blue than it does in what I presume is probably either turquoise or cyan, I'm going to choose this one. Just because I want to, and also, as for the rims, well, I probably will change those to some BBS rims. Oh. that's not where I wanted to go. And I'm also going to put this on, because I have a feeling there are going to be some engines turning somewhere under 500 horses, and well, just because I want to be a little bit more creative with my Corvette, I'm going to put on some... Actually no, I'm going to head down to Oz, or unless it's pronounced OZ, honestly not sure which, but you know. I'm going to be a little bit more creative with this and try to see if there is anything suitable I can put on this thing. Wow, those are nice. Yes, these are the ones I'm going for. I don't care what anyone says, I'm going for these ones. Because I want to. So, got the wheels on, and now we can head over to our second race. So yeah, the reason why I chose my Corvette 427 Stingray is ultimately because, well, I decided, since I had this car and we're going to midfield again, so I suppose in a way I did have a good reason to save the race at Red Rock, because I've already raced at midfield numerous times, and well, I don't think top speed is going to be an issue, so let's just head to the race and see how we do. But yeah, the reason why I chose this car is because, well, I was wanting to be traditionally classic, and also because effectively this is a better car for me to use than because to me at least, I think this is probably a better car for me to use for this event than basically purchasing another one, so I basically decided I was just going to be different that way. And as I was more or less expecting, his AI are definitely more competitive in this race, as it looks like, I think that's probably the 82 Stingray, isn't it? Because I'm sure there's one Corvette in the dealership that's from the 80s, from what I can remember, and I'm now already up to third, even though obviously my car is very loose at the moment. But then again, pretty much all classic muscle cars are loose, and I am trying to see if it is possible for me to succeed with this, and oh crap, I did not mean to do that. But again, I chose this car because I prefer tradition over modernity. And almost reaching top speed, but managing to back off because I had a feeling one of them was going to pull off a dive bomb, and that's more or less what I was expecting to happen, but anyways. Back to the race itself, and I am now up into the second position, and that was a very aggressive move in my honest opinion. And I do have the inside line, but I'm shifting down to second because I have a feeling this car is going to shift. And trying to see if I can get the move done whilst I am revving this engine very hard. At least trying to see if I can open myself up to maybe going for a dive. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, as I can get a good exit. Oh, it's going to be a drag race. Come on, come on. I have the lead. I have the lead. There we go. It is confirmed. I have won this race in a straight up drag race, and Ooh, I beat a Corvette Gran Sport, which I don't think was in the previous race. But anyways. So in the end, I won by just under 2/10 in that event, ahead of the Chevy Corvette Gran Sport. Then it was the Corvette Coupe in third, followed by the 82 Corvette Stingray, and then it was the 67 Stingray in fifth, and then at the back it was my fellow 69 Stingray. So I could save this replay if I really wanted to, you know, because of the photo finish shot, but well, I don't think I will, because effectively most of these cars are essentially in the same colours anyway, so I'm not going to bother saving this replay. I'm keeping the other one. And a quite reasonable 10 grand for winning as well. And just so obviously I can rest my case, I'm also saving the game as well. For what is officially our first of only 5 events we can do in South City. Nah, I won't save the replay. I've already got the clickbait I need from the first race. Also because essentially, I don't think I've actually got that many reasonable shots of Red Rock, in my honest opinion. But yeah, there we go. That is the Corvette meeting. And since I'm doing these events in alphabetical order, next up I'll be heading over to Dodge, and then after that I'll just be heading over to Ford. But anyways, in the end of that, we are now 73.97% complete with this game, and also we have 199 race wins, only one away from tying Richard Petty, and also my average win ratio has now gone up to just under 84.7%. And so next up is the Viper Festival of Speed, which is at Dodge. Stay tuned for more GT2.